Right, is it too short to rework? What am I talking about? Hair, of course I'm talking about hair. I'm the hair and beauty guy. If you're a guy, you've got really short hair, you don't think you can do much with it, come watch this video, it's for you. Today I've got my mate Evan in and he's got really short hair, he's getting married, he's panicking, he wants to look his best and he doesn't know what to do. So I do know what to do, so let's get him in. Evan, come on in my man, how are you doing today?
Doing great.
Perfect, have a seat, have a seat. So Evan comes in and he said to me, Alex, is it too short to rework? I said, what are you talking about? And he said, my hair. I said, thank heavens for that. So once we got that out of the way with, we could start actually talking about the good stuff. I said, no, mate, it's not too short to rework, but it needs to be reshaped. Now, shaping hair is really, really essential. Now, what I'm going to tell you now is a really, really, really key part. So if you're a hairdresser and you're a barber and you need a little bit of help, listen to this. If you're a customer, this is a golden one for you, gentlemen, because you need to make sure your hairdressers and your barbers aren't doing this. Corners. So corners. So really for a gent to have a masculine looking style at any length needs to have a corner on it. Okay, so my comb is here, my hand is here, that is a corner. Okay, when you learn how to cut an old lady's hairstyle, a lady that would wear rollers in her head, you cut the corners off. What does it mean? What's a corner? What's a corner when it's gone? So if I cut the hair all around like this, all around like this, in the round style, following the round of the head, I cut the corners off. That's what you do for an old lady. What have they done for Evan? They've cut his corners off. So it's looking really round, quite puddingish, and to be honest, not very cool. He's a good looking guy, he's getting married, let's sort it out. So is it too short for the Alex magic? Absolutely not. Let's get on to it. So what I need to do first off is make it more square. So I need to tighten this up. So if you see here, when I use my hands, it's very round. So we want this square, sharp, and this taking in. So first off, what I'm going to do is I'm actually not going to touch any of his facial hair until afterwards. Why am I not going to do that? Because sometimes, in the famous words of Janet Jackson, you don't know what you've got till it's gone, right? So if I take all of that off, and then I actually wish I had a little bit more stubble, it could really backfire on me. Because if I take this tighter, leave this longer, the beard might look good. So don't get rid of something that you already might need. It's going to start with some clipper work. So clipper work itself, I have 3 different sets of clippers here. I've got the Wahl Legend, okay? Now, this is a standard tough clipper. It's strong, it does the business, it's a wired cabled leaded clipper, not a rechargeable, very standard, very good, but it's Wahl, it's a workhorse. So am I going to use those? Maybe. I also have my peanut clipper, also by Wahl. Now I could use this. Evan has got a lot of hair, but individual strand by strand, it's quite medium to fine. So I know it's not going to get stuck in the clipper. So this would be all right. And I have here an Italian clipper from Gamma. So this is Gamma Pew, they're an Italian company, really, really good. Now, I'm going to try both clippers, and I'm going to tell you which I think is the best one to get through. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in on a number 2. What's actually cool about the Gammas is I've actually got magnetic clipper guards. So put the clipper guard on, magnetic, sticks on, really easy. But I always put this finger over the top because I don't trust it completely. So this is coming through nicely. Now, a lot of you hairdressers and people, meaning stylists, barbers out there, don't often check your customer to see how it's feeling for them. So if you are somebody out there that's watching this that is like a regular client, you probably think, oh yeah, that happens to me quite a lot. Evan, how do these actually feel?
Soft.
Soft? No pull, no tug?
No.
No. Okay.
Nicer than mine.
Well, there we go, nicer than his. But I have actually seen your clippers, haven't I? So they're all right, they're all right. Okay. So these are good, but I don't know if they're quite as good as the Wahls. So let's come on to the Wahls. Now what I'm going to do, I've got number 3 on here. Reason why, because if I put the number 3 on, it's a bit longer. Say for instance I didn't like it quite as much, I've gone the guard up, so then I can easily switch it out. So I'm building myself a safety cushion in there all the time. Now for me, definitely the Wahl is the clipper of the choice. I do own maybe 100 sets of clippers, guys, so, you know, I do use different clippers for different people, but I'm definitely going to go in with the Legends right now. So, now, as a customer, how does the Legend feel much different to the Gammas there?
I think so. It feels like it's working a little bit better.
Right. Well, that's, you know, that's what it's about, isn't it? We want to get you in, get you out, and get you ready to enjoy the rest of your day. And that's an important thing, guys, you know. A lot of gentlemen do go to the barbers, and often when I say, oh, why did you stop going to the barber? Because, oh, I was sat waiting for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, you know. It's like, we all have busy lives, so, you know, if it can be something as simple as a clipper choice that really helps, that will change things up. So what I'm doing here, guys, I've got, again, the number 3 on here. Now, number 3 will be my base clipper length. So if I can just turn you around, Evan, for the peeps at home. Now, I'm going against the grain. So if the hair is growing in this direction, I clip up this direction, not up this direction. The reason being, if you go the other direction, the hair's going another way, you won't cut it at the correct length, if that makes sense. You always have to go against the grain, so you're getting the maximum haircut, which I will show you. Right, guys, so what I'm doing now, I've got my base clippered length in there, which is a 3. So if you notice here, these lengths here look longer than here, and that's because they are, right? And if you notice, his actual hair is growing in this direction. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the number 2 guard, and just watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to run against the grain. See, the hair is growing in that direction? Well, I need to go in that direction. If I went up in that direction, I wouldn't catch them all and it'd leave some longer pieces. That is really, really key. Okay, let's do it. So it starts giving us a much nicer fade. So what I want to talk about now is actually the fades, guys. So although right now we've got a number 2 into a 3, none of this has been blended. When I do blend this is going to be what you call like a high fade out, right? So we've got the majority of the top hair on the top. A low fade would be past the occipital bone, or around about there. The occipital bone is a bone that you can find the back of your head, roughly about here. Now, there are fades, fades, and fades, okay? There's some brilliant fades, some brilliant barbers, but it is not one size fits all. A lot of the time what we'd find is people will start fading, say, my son who's got blonde hair, it's a bit finer. If you faded my son's hair out the way I would fade out this, which is a lot darker, a lot stronger, you'd see all the lines in it. So I probably use 6 or 7 different kinds of clippers for different kind of people. I sometimes will do scissor over comb as opposed to clipper over comb. So just be aware of what you're working with. Always look how the hair grows. And, you know, if you do need more practice, get some more practice. Don't just go in thinking you can fade from a 0 skin into a full kind of length up at the top. But, you know, research, know about it. Don't go in hairdressers saying, I want to fade it out, and then them just saying yes. Find out if they want a low fade, a high fade, what they actually want. Don't be afraid to reference photographs. We've got these wonderful contraptions in our pockets at all times, the mini computer smartphone that can help us out. So use all of these things to our advantage. So what I'm going to do now is I'm now going to do some clipper over comb work. So I'm using the peanut clipper. I'm going to turn Evan round, and what I'm doing is I'm taking the wide teeth of the comb, I'm swapping that round to use the finer teeth of the comb, which gives me more control. Watch this. So what I do is watch as I lift that hair into this area. Can you see what I've got in the comb just there? Now you can't do that kind of work just with clippers alone. Okay, so if you see that side, I haven't actually done one tram line in there. I haven't gone in and squared it right up. So what I haven't done is I haven't gone and put any heavy tram lines in there. I haven't over squared this hairstyle up, just very much blending it down. Now this is a really important one. Evan, please put your chin to your chest. So by him doing that, stretches out his skin and allows me to get a better fade. So all of that hair that I'm cutting now, I wasn't able to cut when his head was up. Okay, so and these are the difference of a good haircut, a very good haircut, and an exceptional haircut. So let's go in and take these very little bits off. All clipper over comb. It's when the peanut clippers are really exceptional to use because they're so small and dexterous. Okay, so we'll just take a quick look at that side now. Now, often what could happen is we could say, right, how many times do you hear this in the barbers? Do you want your hair squared off or rounded off or faded off? It's like, okay, half of the time, the gents that are sat down don't have a clue what you're talking about. So maybe explain it, because sometimes they don't want to look like foolish either, and they'll just round it off or square it off. But, make sure they fully understand what's going on. Now, this hairline is very, very unique. Now, you don't often get hair that grows this nicely that offers a natural fade. Some people's hair grows so weird that you'd have to cut into it to shape it up and make it look smarter. Not Evan. So I'm not going to square that off. I'm not actually even going to give him the option because I've told him what looks better. So have some confidence in there. Yes, if he wants this more squared off here, great. That's a good idea, like this one. But here, for me, if we were to put a big line across the back, it would either look like a young boy back to school haircut or a Lego man. And I don't think you want to look like a Lego man, do you, mate? No. No. Okay, so just come into this area. And okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's starting to come together a bit. What we're going to do now, well, look, same kind of vibe for the sides that we just did with this area in the back. We need to clean this area up. So clipper over comb, peanut clippers in. Again here, peanut clippers over. Like this. Okay, see how we're holding the ear? Now, you can always get the guys to hold their ears for you if you're not feeling like you can do it all together at the same time. I'm sure they would rather hold their ear than lose their ear. The Van Gogh look is not making a comeback just yet. So here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Look at that. He's looking better already. Okay, so if we have a look into this side, how much cleaner this is around here. Really nicely polished. It's actually even making, if you remember what I was saying before about the beard, that we weren't going to touch the beard till after, actually makes the beard look like it's more meant to be right now. So, you might end up finding yourself keeping this, mate. Yeah. We'll have to see what your boss says, though, eh? That's your boss meaning the fiance.
If she says yes.
then we're keeping it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so now what I'm doing, guys, is just working around this side. Very similar to the other side, but you have to start here. Okay, clippers in. Over we go, pull that ear forward. Nicely clean this up around his ear. Clipper work, ladies and gents, is kind of coming to a little bit of a finish, if you like. Probably dare say I've got a bit more to do towards the end, but now I can see this. I can see his face a lot more. I can really see what I'm working with. Now, because I've cut that off, I've actually, the corners that I began talking to you about in the beginning of the haircut, we're starting to get. Now, what is the key word for this haircut? Texture. Why is it texture? Well, texture can be softened down so we can make it business appropriate, or we can make it party appropriate. So we want a haircut that, even though it's short, is multifaceted and can do more than one thing. So I'm going to come in, I've got a couple of different scissors to use here. I've got the Barracuda from Excellent Edges. So I'm going to look at using the Barracuda. I have the Mataki Arrow. And I've got another one from Mataki right now, which is called the Shark. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to come in with the Shark for a bit of texture, but be careful with the Shark because it bites. So here we go. So in we go. Stop, pardon the pun, but it does really bite. Look at those teeth in there. Look at that. So if you don't know what you're doing and you're a little bit concerned you're going to take too much out, less is more. Always practice on a mannequin for your first haircut if you're getting used to it, you know, but we're good. These sharks have been used a few times. So the beauty of the Shark is I'm just going to take out a lot of bulk, put quite a bit of texture in before I've even connected the sides to the top. I haven't even blended that out yet. Now I'm going to show you around. If Evan, would you mind turning around for me, my mate?
How far?
That's perfect. So here we go with this crown. So sometimes people don't know what to do with crowns. You know what I'm going to do with this one? I'm going to cut it off. So my hands are going in like that. Bosh, 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 bosh. And you don't have to say bosh, bosh, bosh. But you know what? It makes it feel good. So I'm going to say it. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Get some of that out. Get some of this weight out. You know, like this. Really work that crown. And the secret is to leave enough length in that it can go flat and enough short pieces that we can have it textured. So I'm going to come to a point when I feel that I've taken enough out from a length, from a weight perspective. Okay. Now also, bear in mind, if I can turn you back round again, that if we're not mindful of these corners, so watch this, hairdressers and people that are teaching new hairdressers, remember that's the corner off, elbows up. Trick, elbow up, you can't cut the corner off. So if you're a hairdresser doing men's hair, keep that elbow up and you will not take the corner off. So, let's cut in this middle panel. Middle panel. The comb I'm using today is a YS Park comb. Very, very cool. Really good for all kinds of hairdressing, really. You know, good for ladies, good for gents, but I mean, it is a cutting comb. Love the length of it. I can really do a lot of work with that. So now I'm working around Evans. I'm going to come around the front, seeing that texture come to life. And then, so look at this, look guys. So what we've found now in Evans, that we've got a natural calf lick here, or a cow's lick. Do you know what they're called? Do you know what a calf lick is? What do you call it? A cow's lick?
Cowlick, yeah.
A cow lick. See, I already have a problem with a cow lick. Because it's like, for me, it's like someone's got a cow licked your head and your hair's never been the same again.
I was actually thinking about this the other day. Isn't that where it comes from? Have you ever seen like a cow lick its calf, like its little babies, and it leaves leaves the hair all looking like this?
Right. So how on earth have I been hairdressing for 30 years and now it's only just been explained to me?
I don't know.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
I appreciate that.
Here for you.
You know, mate, that's why you're here, to educate me. I appreciate it. Well, you know, in the north of England where I'm from, they call it a calf lick. So that's like a calf ick or something, but then, or a cow's lick. So very strange, but anyway, look what I found, ladies and gents. I found a cow's lick. So just to confirm, you definitely never licked by a cow at that part of your
I
head?
don't think so. No, I don't think so.
No. Okay. So it's just a figure of speech.
There's a chance. There's another one on this side.
2 cows then.
It's like small. When I shave my head and it grows in, it grows back out like this.
Oh my word. So
Yeah.
like if it goes out like that, then you're a bull.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah.
Right. Then a bull lick. Right. Well, let's just let's go back to the calf lick. Right. So here's the calf lick here. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to work with this. So I'm actually going to work with this to my advantage. I'm going to give him a really smart, preppy finish, right? But a preppy finish that can be taken up and he can wear it a bit more jazzy, he can wear it a bit more funky, but also, more importantly, it's going to keep his fiancée happy when it comes to those more important photographs that have to last a lifetime. So let's come back in with the excellent edges scissors. I'm on a bit of a roll now. All I need to do is blend this. So I'm going to go with a scissor over comb blend because I want a nice soft blend there. And I'm actually going to keep all of the length in around the front where the cow's lick is, so he's got plenty to style. I've cut loads of texture in at the crown because you saw me cut it off. And we haven't touched the beard yet, guys. Okay, so Evan, just bear with me a second, my man. See what I'm doing. I'm actually using my fingers as a texture comb. So just look at my big hand there. Just get that. I'll stick that through the top of his head. Hold that hair up like that, and then just start cutting pieces where I see fit. So the idea of that is because it's so ununiformed, it actually gives a very unique kind of texture to the haircut. Now remember when we started? Remember how round it was around here? Can you see how naturally square it is now? Gives it a much more masculine kind of finish. Just looks cooler, you know. And for a guy, like, you know what I mean? Even if you're off to the gym and you don't want to do anything in your hair, you don't want the shape of it to look like a round pudding base and hairstyle. You want it to look cool, even if it's not styled, not anything. So, you know, I'm very, very confident in this haircut that it's going to grow out so much better for him. It's going to look a lot nicer, and it's going to essentially be the short textured crop that he wanted, you know? So there we go. Chop, chop, chop into there. Okay, matey.
It's a lot of hair.
I'm not kidding. So guys, I'm just going to use this hairdryer. It's an Infinity Pro by Conair. I love Conair. It was a great movie. Really enjoyed it. Nicolas Cage did a great job, but these hairdryers are so much better. So cheers, Nick, for that. So you can see what I've done there, ladies and gents. I've started working, just taking out some of the kind of, yeah, the rough hair, working with that. Look at that nice, cool kind of quiff he's got on there. Looks good. Probably got a fraction more polishing bits of haircut to do, but not much at all. Just going to go through, have a look at that. Looking good, looking good. And I'm going to take a quick look at the beard there now. Now, you know what I'm actually going to do, Evan? I'm going to do something different. I'm actually going to keep the facial hair, but clean all the sides up, make it be like the beard's kind of there, meant to be, not grown out.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that one goes down, eh?
Do
Okay, bud. So what I'm doing here, guys, with the Wild Peanut Clipper, I'm going in, I'm tidying up the neckline. See that, guys? So all of that off the neck, make that so much cleaner. Remember, make that skin nice and tight with your fingers. So a common question I get from the boys is, where should I stop my beard? I mean, I've seen people wear them right up to here, you know, like a proper penguin chin strap. I've also seen people, like, guys that have, you know, really struggled, like they've either got double chins or really weak chins, you know, and they might have not looked great with that and maybe had a bit of self-conscious image with that. Wearing a bit of facial hair completely changes the game. So remember, facial hair will change your face shape. Weak chin, double chin, you can hide it with that. But then also, what you don't want to do is, if you're like Evan, who's got a really good jawline, he's quite slim face, is you don't want to lose your facial features within your facial hair as well. So facial features can enhance your face or decrease your face for all of these reasons. So, point is, where do we start, where do we finish? Well, I don't want to be going up here, okay? Now, for me, if it was anywhere past on his neck, here, because he's got a slim neckline, he's also got a cool little neck tattoo here. If we start having all of this overgrown, for me, that would actually then not look like a polished beard. So his Adam's apple's here, 2 fingers distance from under the Adam's apple. But of course, if you are going for that more long, kind of gnarly hipster beard, you know, you might incorporate the neckline. But this is a little bit more of a tailored, somewhere between like a kind of a neat beard and designer stubble. So we're just going to put this in. Okay, so then we can put Evan down, have a little look. So immediately that's cleaned the neckline up just from here. So that's looking better. We could just gently go over with these clippers. Again. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to clean up this area of his cheeks. So if I take this away like this, I can actually make him look a lot more styled just by taking a few wisps away. So look, if you look there, guys, look at that side, look at that side. I'm going to enhance that a bit more over the top lip, over the top here, just to accentuate that look. Okay, do we see how much better this side looks? Very minimal amounts of hair, ladies and gents, not a great deal, but the difference is incredible. Let's over the Cupid's bow, which is that little bit in the middle of your mouth. There we go. And then clean this area up here. Okay, I'm going to use this comb now, the fine teeth, just a bit of that in the middle of the tash. Now I'm just going to have a little look at these eyebrows. Yeah, we could do with a little tiny clean up on the brows. Put that smarter. Even though now, ladies and gents, just take a look at that. I mean, the difference here, it's fractional, minimal hairs that just make that massive difference. Okay, so we're coming to a bit of a finish now, ladies and gents. And the important thing is before we do anything else, I'm going to go in with the Beard Foam Cleanser. And I'm just going to use this for a little bit of a freshen up. So it's a pump spray. Smells absolutely great. What do you think of that, Evan?
Just nice, clean.
Yeah, clean, fresh. You know, really kind of nice, or almost like it's almost got like a menthol in there, which really kind of cleans, freshens up the face a little bit. You know, nothing's worse. Obviously, guys, they are busy. It's not their favourite thing getting their hair cut. They want to get in and out. So let's get him all nicely cleaned up there. I don't think we need to over wax it. I think based on the fact that we said that the key word of reworking this hair was texture today, wasn't it? So texture for me can be a couple of different things, but texture for me isn't shiny and over polished and very pompadour kind of overdone hair. So I've got a few products to look at. I've got some expensive stuff, some mid-range, and some cheap stuff. So first off, I'm going to start with the cheap stuff. The Old Spice putty, right? I mean, Old Spice, it's been lurking around every old man's bedroom since the dawn of time. What do I actually think to it? It's all right. It smells okay. It's matte, which is good. But what I don't like, guys, all right, is it's white. in colour. Now that's all right when you're me and you're a bit salt and pepper, but when you're Evans and it's quite dark, it might take away from his colour a bit. So I've done that before, and I've failed there before. So here I've got uppercut. Now this one is I like the sound of this. It's got an indicator on the side to tell you its hold content is a 5 and its shine content is a 1. So if Evan's hair yes, he's got loads of it, but it's fine strand by strand. If I was to put in something over shiny, it'd make it look a bit thin. It's not really the look we want to go for. So that's an option. I've got something from Sexy Hair, which is the Frenzy, which is a shine 2 texture frenzy and a hold 8. So that's going to be more powerful. I know that this is a kind of a bluey kind of coloured product, so it's okay. It's not going to lift his hair up too much. And this pomade here, the uppercut, which smells like coffee, is like a chocolatey brown colour. I think that would be okay. And finally, from my final 2, I've got American Crew Acumen Firm Hold Grooming Cream. I could use this one, or American Crew Matte Styling Cream. So the matte styling cream seems okay. I'm going to try a bit of this one first. I'm going to try it first around the sides and back. Now, if you're a guy that doesn't use any products on the sides and back because it's a number 2, number 3, you're a bit wrong. You don't have to daub it on, just put it on your fingers, but just to kind of run that through. Now, that's quite nice. Just look towards me, mate. Yeah, it's just giving it a bit of finish. I don't want to use the firm holding cream. I don't want a cream on there. I think I'm going to use a hybrid today. I'm going to use the matte styling cream from American Crew and potentially might use the uppercut as a little bit of a finish. Let's have a look at this first. Okay. So beware, this product dries pretty fast. So you can work fast. Remember, it's a matte colour, so it's not going to give us unnecessary amounts of shine. It's okay. I think, for what it's worth, I think we'll finish off with a bit of the uppercut. Now the uppercut has got that nice, remember I said it's got like almost like a coffee smell to it, which is really cool. So guys, I'm back here now, and I'm doing exactly what I thought I wouldn't do. I'm using a styling cream. So, even me, 30 years experience, all the rest of it, but that accounts for absolutely nothing until you're on the day and you see what's working, So I've just put a little bit of that in there. I really want to kind of get a bit of polish on that fringe area. Probably going to use, remember what I said about the sides and backs, so you can really use your excess product on there, help build out that texture. Going to finish off with a little bit of the Paul Mitchell hot off the press hairspray. Now guys, you can see I've used a fair bit of product today on Evans, a few different products. Now, my trick with you and my advice would be, when you're layering products and building products, less is more. I mean, I always, if you're doing it on your own head, stand with it an arm's distance so the mist goes like so. If you're doing it on somebody else's head, stand back, move back to have a look, make sure you're happy with it. And I really have got the best of all worlds there. Right, the moment of truth, mate. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm kind of not nervous for what you're going to think. I'm more nervous for what your other half's going to think. So, first off, though, let's see if we can pass the Evan test. Let's go get those glasses on.
Wow, it looks great.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's like way cleaner than I normally do, but it still has that like textured, messy.
There you go.
Look.
There you go. So, I mean, the thing is, what I didn't want to do, I didn't want to turn around to you, mate, and say, oh, there's nothing you can do until you've grown your hair long, because there is so much you got to do, and so much you can do. But we just, we're working on those minute basis, but it looks so good.
It's great. It looks like I can even do this at home too.
Great, mate. Well, listen, thank you for coming, and I will bid you farewell, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, guys, that was Evan. He's coming. He looks absolutely fantastic. You know, what were we doing today? Well, we're trying to rework something that's already really short, already kind of, some people would have written it off and said there's nothing you can do. Obviously, you saw what the hair and beauty guy can do. Look at the shape, look at the texture, look at the weight, look at the products you're using, look at the facial hair, look at all these different things. Please don't write people off because they've got short hair, because there is so much you can do. Anyway, if you like what I've got to say, please like and subscribe. If you don't, no worries. I'm going to be here anyway, reviewing products and telling you what's what. I appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you soon. Bye now.